Now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Casa D18 Studios channel. You could be anywhere in the world right now, and you're here with me, and I greatly appreciate it. And it's time, once again, to step into the war zone. That's right, it's time for another edition of the Weekly Acquisition Report, the show where I, the Renegade, show you, the viewers, the latest additions to my ever growing movie library. Today, a hodgepodge of stuff. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining me here once again on the War Zone, the weekly acquisition report, the show where I, the Renegade, show you, the viewers, the latest additions to my ever growing movie library. And as I said in the introduction, today is a hodgepodge of sorts. I was going to call it a retail fiasco or some retail finds, but I do have a couple of Goodwill films in here too, just because I haven't been able to get back there lately. So I just kind of wanted to get these couple of Blu-rays that I got from Goodwill out there in the sphere, and then we can always work on another show down the line. But like I said, with the exception of those three movies, these are all films that I found at various retail outlets. And we're going to kick things off. You may remember during my Steelbook Spectacular that I showed off to you that I talked about going to a store named Winco. Well, the first movie I'm going to show off is one that I found at Winco, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly on Blu-ray. Now, this is a Clint Eastwood classic, which, believe it or not, I have never seen. The first Clint Eastwood Western I've ever seen was Unforgiven. And I'm going to leave that there. I've seen some of his movies since then. I don't believe I've seen any of his movies before that. Believe it or not. Shocking, I know. God knows there's enough Eastwood to do an entire month of him. And I'm sure we will do that at some point down the road. But for now, we're going to move on. Next two I'm going to show you I got from Big Lots. First, a Blu-ray, The Godfather. $4.99 at Big Lots. This I've seen. Now, I've never seen, I think I've seen part 2, or at least most of part 2. I know I've never seen 3, but I know I've seen the original all the way through. I'm questionable on part 2, though. But The Godfather, something that I definitely had to have in my collection. I do want to get the other 2. I did see part 3 at Winco, so I may go back for that, but then I just got to track down part 2. Also from Big Lots, the Hanna-Barbera Diamond Collection, the entire series of Magilla Gorilla. Magilla Gorilla is one of those that I grew up on as a kid, alongside with like Snagglepuss and Huckleberry Hound and Augie Doggy and Doggy Daddy, and of course, everybody's lovable bear, Yogi and Boo Boo. But Magilla Gorilla is one of those kind of forgotten gems of that era. People talk about Yogi and Boo Boo. You think Hanna-Barbera, you think the Jetsons, the Flintstones. You might talk about Snagglepuss and Huckleberry Hound, or Quick Draw McGraw even. But Magilla Gorilla slips through the cracks. So to find the entire series for $8 at Big Lots, absolutely. Yes, please. The next movies I'm going to show off I found not at Dollar Tree, not at Family Dollar, but Dollar General. Dollar General is a store I've been to in the past. I've found some cool stuff there. So I've got a DVD and 3 Blu-rays that I picked up at Dollar General. First off, I'm going to do the DVD. And you may remember my review of this from Musicals Month. I'll go ahead and link it up here. But it's The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas. Dolly Parton, Burt Reynolds, $4.95 for the DVD. Had to snatch it up, had to own it. Movie was so good. Like I said in my review, seen it a couple times now. And my brother basically works for Dolly Parton at Dollywood in Tennessee. Got to show a bit of love, support his boss lady, even though I didn't pay full suggested retail price now. I got it at Dollar General for under $5, but still got to show that love. Then we get to the Blu-rays, and I know some people are going to crap on this one that I'm going to show off first, but I own the original 2 in the series. I own some of the films that spun off of the series. So even though the third one in the series doesn't get the reviews that the others do, and again, haven't seen the third one on my own yet, but I've seen the original two. But The Mummy, The Tomb of the Dragon Emperor, $5. Brendan Fraser, Jet Li, the last chapter of the Rick Connell Mummy series. Of course, there was the Scorpion King series that spun off after it. The original one with Dwayne Johnson. Batista's been in one. The Scorpion King series is like 5 movies deep in its own, but there's only 3 in the Mummy franchise. The Mummy Returns, and Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. And now I own all 3. I found this one, and honestly, if I'm being real with everybody, I only bought it because it's a 4K that was under $3. For $2.95, I found a movie called The Hurricane Heist, which was done by some of the people that did the original Fast and the Furious movie. I don't have a whole lot of 4K movies. I'm not a 4K snob, someone that's out there like, oh, I have to buy everything in 4K. It's not my bag, but it's got regular Blu-ray on it also, along with the 4K. But for $3, I mean, they had the DVD of this and the standard Blu-ray of this for $3.95 each. For $1 less, I got the 4K disc and it has the regular Blu-ray in it. It was a no-brainer for me. You may as well save a buck and get the better quality. Just throwing that out there. And then the last one I got for Dollar General, Jersey Boys. The story of Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. And some of you may know, some of you may have heard, some of you may remember on Dad's, on Jeff's channel, Jeff talking about how him and his dad knew one of the later incarnation members of the Four Seasons, not the original, but one of the guys that kind of came in and filled in later on down the road. So to get the story of Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons, I like biopics. I'm looking for that type of stuff to feature, do a whole month of biopics. Jersey Boys. What the hell, right? I mean, at the end of the day, can it be any worse than Kevin Smith's Jersey Girl? Just throwing that out there. And for the record, I actually kind of enjoy Jersey Girl. So that just brings us to the Goodwill stuff. And I'm just going to try and hit these boom, boom, boom. First and foremost, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Brad Pitt, Angelina Jolie. Do I really need to say anything more? It's Angelina Jolie looking smoking hot as she always does. I believe this is the movie where her and Brad met, started their whirlwind romance. I believe this is the movie where Brad and Angelina met and started their whirlwind romance that lasted for what, like a decade? I could be wrong, but Mr. and Mrs. Smith is a great action flick that I enjoy. Had to upgrade on that. I also got Love Actually, which is a rom-com, so you got that. You got Valentine's Day. It's an all-star cast, so it's easy to try and figure out a month for there. You got Hugh Grant, Liam Neeson, Emma Thompson, Alan Rickman, rest in peace, Keira Knightley, Rowan Atkinson. Star-studded cast. Lots of people to choose from to try to do a month for a celebrity, a month for a featured actor, actress. Last but not least, I got on Blu-ray the original Night at the Museum. I know I had 2 and 3 on Blu-ray. I could not remember if I had the original yet or not. If I do, I'll give it to my daughter or something. I'm sure she'll enjoy it. But for $2 at Goodwill, I could not pass it up in the off chance that I didn't already have it. So there we go. That's my haul for this week on The War Zone. What did you think? Let me know. If you're watching the premiere, leave your thoughts and comments over here. If you're watching on demand later in the day, leave your thoughts and comments down here. And let's have that conversation, that discussion, that debate, that interaction that I'm always asking you guys for in the comments below. And make sure you guys tune in tomorrow, right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel for another brand new installment of Renegade's Reviews. And we go back to our movies that star musicians, and we go back to high school for Rock and Roll High School, starring the Ramones, PJ Souls, Clint Howard, Vince Van Patten, Paul Bartel, Dick Miller, and so many others, including an uncredited cameo by Huey Lewis. You don't want to miss out on that. Right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel on Renegade's Reviews, Rock and Roll High School. And that's just to kick off the next week of movies that star musicians. But in order to make sure you don't miss out on any of that, you need to make sure you smash that like button, make sure you're subscribed, make sure that notification bell is turned on so you don't miss out anytime a video drops right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel or anytime we go live, as is the case with Stat Boy Sports Bar, Open Mic Night, pay-per-view PLE coverage, etc. Share these videos with your family, friends, loved ones, coworkers, movie fanatics, cinephiles in your life, fans of unboxing videos, fans of thrift store videos, fans of any of that type of stuff. Anybody you can think of that would enjoy this content, this video, share it with them, as it's the only way we're going to keep my visibility in YouTube's algorithms now that we are, in fact, a monetized channel. Thank you once again to everyone who joined me and tuned in here today, as well as everybody that worked so hard to help me get to where I am so I am monetized now. It means so much more to me than you will ever know, and I will see you guys next time.